Warning, this creepypasta is going to be scary and it's going to scare the nuts out of you. And if you're like 5 to 8, click out of this video and watch something else. Enjoy this video, guys. Do you remember that Thomas and Friends McDonald's short I told you about last year? Well, there's another Thomas commercial. If you remember the McDonald's one, you might remember the Magic Railroad movie got its own toys commercial from the old sandwich restaurant called Subway, which the toys have only 4 of the magical engines, which were Thomas, Percy, Lady, and Diesel 10. So this sums it all up. I saw the toys on the internet and they quite interest me. That day started when I was out having a day out with my friends. We just finished grabbing some lunch over at Jersey Mike's and we decided to head on home. I texted my parents to come get me, and I figured they would be a few minutes late. So, when my friends went on home, I decided to go to Goodwill to see if I could find something that might interest me. Once I got inside the building, I went to the DVD section to see some old DVDs that I haven't collected in my collection yet. But when I happened to notice in the bottom of a DVD of Toy Story 3, I happened to notice another Thomas DVD. It featured Thomas, Percy, and Lady in front of the Subway sign. Interesting, I said to myself. I decided to pay for this DVD, and the DVD only costed about $8.52, and I had the right amount of money to get it. As I paid for the DVD, I stand outside, and my dad picked me up, and I showed him the new DVD I found at Goodwill. He was impressed, and I found another rare find. When we got back, I decided to watch my new DVD. I inserted it into my PS3 to get it ready to see this never-before-seen DVD. Then the DVD started. Then it just showed the Subway logo, and then it started off to the DVD menu with Thomas, Percy, Toby, and Lady in a green background. And the following buttons were play and visit Subway.com. I pressed play to get ready to see this never-before-seen short, besides being scared. It began with a view of Sodor at night, except in the 2000 series. It cut to a view of a Subway restaurant nearby, and then it cut back to the shunting yard, which revealed from the McDonald's one. Then, out of nowhere, Thomas, Percy, Toby, and Lady came in out of nowhere. Okay, guys. While Sir Topham Hatt is still on vacation and Mr. Conductor went back to Shining Time, Lady's staying with us for Sodor, and we have to protect her from Diesel 10. He may be back. Oh, okay, Thomas, but are you sure we can take care of her by ourselves? Percy asked, looking afraid. Don't worry, Percy, Toby said. As long as we work together, we'll be fine. I hope so, boys, Lady said in a worried tone. The 4 engines got ready to prepare themselves in case of Diesel 10 might find Lady. Then, not after 8 seconds later, the 4 trains heard a faint whistle hooting. The 4 engines got scared, wondering what that noise came from. What was that? Thomas asked. The 4 engines had turned on their lights to see who that engine was, but nobody was in the dark. Who did that? Toby asked, looking afraid. Do you think it's Gordon pulling the express? Percy asked. Then Lady got more scared, and she started to speak in a panic attack voice. I feel like Diesel 10 might have found us, she said. Then, out of nowhere, fog of mist appeared in front of the 4 engines. Oh, what's that? Percy said, about to scream. Then, as the mist cleared, it was revealed to be a steam engine. But the steam engine was green, and it had the Subway logo on its boiler, and it had a similar design shape for which was kind of the same design shape similar between duck. The train began to speak in the voice of in the voice of in the voice of Chris Rock. Sorry, I started there for, but the voice of Chris Rock, who voiced Marty from the Madagascar trilogies. What's up, NGs? The four engines puffed up to the engine to confront him. Who are you? Thomas asked. Oh, you don't want to know, little boy Blue. Diesel 10 has hired me to find this magical engine and take her to him. And I knew Steamy's meant to be good, but let's face it, evil is more fun than being good. Well, I'm sorry, you can't take her, Toby said. And why is that, golf shed? The train said, insulting Toby. How dare you? He said. Then, Toby ran backwards and pushed a wagon right in front of the train, and he began rolling backwards. Is that all you got, you old man? Well, I'll show you what a real engine can do. He reversed backwards and he ran toward and he bashed Toby hard. Toby began rolling backwards and he couldn't stop in time until there was trouble. Toby had biffed it into some broken hard buffers and he fell into off the rails and a tree hit him hard. Toby! Thomas and Percy and Lady shouted. Oh, sorry, engines, but your old Tobe friend is not here to help you out. You bastard! You killed my friend! Percy shouted. Oh, sorry, Greenie, but I think I can handle this from here. Oh, no, you don't, Lady said. She used her magical powers to attack the engine, but the engine didn't feel anything. You call that magic? This is magic. He activated a ray gun, which was right beside his boiler, and he shot Lady, losing her powers, and her face too. Lady! Thomas shouted, worrying for his new friend. Thomas was infuriated. He rolled backwards and he ran towards the engine towards the subway engine. And after nowhere, the subway engine had bashed Thomas. It began to feel of a tug-of-war. It was pushing back and forth for 5 seconds until the engine pushed Thomas far away. Thomas, no! Percy screamed in horror, worried for his best friend. Then, the train let go of Thomas, and Thomas began rolling backwards, out of control, until there was trouble. Thomas had crashed into a brick wall, and Thomas was knocked out. Percy began puffed away, trying to hide from the subway engine. He hid by the buffers from the movie to make sure he doesn't get seen. I hope I don't get seen, Percy said. But frankly, the engine's whistle was beginning hearing in the background. Oh, Permy, where are you? Oh, don't worry. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm only gonna kill you real bad. Then, out of nowhere, Percy began rolling backwards until the train appeared for some buffers in front of him. Boo! He said. Percy began screaming loudly as he saw the engine right in front of him. What are you going to do to me? Oh, don't worry. You're going to be the last engine that's ever going to see the magic. What do you mean? Percy asked, looking afraid. Then, the engine began blew his whistle loudly, causing the rocks on the mountain to rumble. He got out of there just in time, but except for Percy. The rocks began crumbling on Percy. Percy began screaming as a rock slide was falling on him. He continued screaming and screaming until The rocks buried covered him. Then it cut back to the subway engine witnessing it. Beautiful. It was beautiful, he said. My work is done. He puffed off, feeling proud of himself. Then, that it came onto the credits. In the background, a music box version of the Shining Time song played, and it showed many images of what happened to the engines after their fates, such as Toby smashed under a tree, Lazy Lady's lost face, Thomas's knocked out face by a brick wall, and Percy buried under some rocks. Then a caption appeared on screen saying, animated by Mary Winterstone in 2000. Then it cut to black, and it took back to the menu. Then I took the disc out of the DVD player and placed it back in its case. Then I emailed the company who made Thomas the next day. They were shocked that this commercial existed. I shipped it back to the owner, and she was glad that I found it. James's sister is out of control in life. I hope she'll learn her lesson real soon. What about you?